house, I will 100% get some of that memorabilia. You know, it'd be really cool, just like in old school, and we brought it up earlier, something Tony Gwynn related. Like, I loved Tony Gwynn growing up. And something like that for T. Gwynn, who passed away at obviously way too early of an age, I think that'd be cool to have.
You know what we should do right now? Little super crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begin.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Look who's here. Look who's here. The triumphant return of none other than Steve Mason. How's the desert, Mason?
The desert was hot, as you would imagine.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
Although it did cool off to about 107, 106.
Brisk.
Yeah. Chilly,
Go for a jog.
crisp jacket weather in Palm Springs. It cooled off to 107.
Go for a nice run.
They were running like 117, 118. Then we got out there and it was
What the hell
like
do you do when it's
107.
117 outside?
My mom and that step deadly are just like stir crazy because you can't go outside.
No.
Can't do anything
Movies?
when it's that hot. Movies, they're not going to movies right now because of, everything.
Dinners?
My mom goes to the pool. They go to dinner sometimes, yeah. So, but they're doing good. It's super hot out there, but I had a really nice time.
Good. So, Ireland, have you ever had anybody answer the question that you asked me about these shirts a minute ago, the way that I answered it?
I said to Travis, I got a big box of swag from Travis Matthew. These guys over there are really nice to me, and a couple of them, Lisa vetoed, and I said, okay, I'm going to give them to Travis, but I didn't know if you could wear an XL.
Yes.
For example, Michael cannot wear an XL. He needs a double or a triple XL, depending on the
he's 6'10".
style.
Because of his height.
I didn't know. I thought you probably could. Do you have a Travis Matthew on right now?
I
What
do.
size is that?
XL. But
I offered you two XLs,
you
and
did,
you looked
but-
at them right away. You said, no, yes.
Yeah.
How do you know? Just by looking at it.
It's the material, right? It's the let me explain something to you as somebody that carries around a little extra carriage.
Hey, me too.
There's the softer the shirt, like the more cottony one. I don't know how to describe. I think it's Twill.
But
is the actual name.
You can tell by looking at it.
I can tell by looking at it. I believe it's called Twill.
Twill.
Yes, thank you. Twill makes me
Project
look like
Runway.
a
It's
D cup.
Twill.
Okay, like the guy. Did you see the guy in the Braves broadcast booth?
Was not expecting
I did not.
He bought a shirt, or his wife bought him a shirt, and he threw it in his bag, and they're on a road trip. And his name is Paul Byrd. He used to be a pitcher.
Oh, I remember Paul Byrd. Pitched for the
Paul
Reds,
Byrd,
too. Yeah.
So, Slee, type in Paul Byrd shirt.
Oh, no.
So his wife bought him the size that he always gets, and it's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a
so
little clingy.
Tight. So he's wearing it, and people were like calling in. It's BYRD, Slee, and type Braves in the search. And people were calling in going, dude, you're gonna suffocate. What? Like the buttons barely moved. Like
Let me see it, Al.
Yeah, the shirt is so tight. Like you say, it looks like he has moves. It got so bad.
That's not great.
Emily, see if you can find this. It got so bad that he actually went on the air and put people at ease, going, hey, I know this shirt.
Okay.
The shirt is insanely tight. I'm not doing it. I didn't lose a bet.
This one will just make me look like a normal guy playing
good.
golf.
Glad,
the other one
glad
will
I,
look
glad
like
I could help. But it lends myself to a bigger question that we were talking about with Cap yesterday in the late crosstalk. Trev, what do you weigh?
260 something.
All right, Mace.
Today, probably 212. Picked up some weight over the weekend.
Slee?
Probably like 180.
Okay, I'm 185 out of the shower. If I'm wearing clothes, closer to 190. I brought in a scale.
Oh, no.
I see.
Does anyone?
I told you guys he had a scale.
Does anyone want to change their answer?
Oh, that's an interesting.
Okay.
I'd probably go closer to 185.
Are we talking with shoes and everything?
Yeah, I'm
with
just going to
shoes.
ask you now to get on this scale.
I am with you that you get out of the shower in the morning.
The way this works is you tap it once.
It's so much
Trev,
water.
right out
I
of
have
the
combat
Mace.
boots on that weigh 62 pounds.
Mace, I had a lot of water.
I believe they're Skechers, but okay.
Now wait. Now get on.
Okay, here we go. Travis Rodgers.
Okay, honest, 264.
What
That's
did you
he
say?
said.
What did you say, Trav?
260-something.
He 260-something. Now,
Okay.
Mace, you said 212.
212. Yeah, let's see. Now, fully dressed. Remember. Let me
By the way, I'm without these Vans, I'm like 262.
He's taking stuff out of his pocket. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll probably go closer to 185.
What'd you say, Slee?
180.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Fully dressed.
Uh-oh.
Fully dressed.
219.
Ooh.
What is-
Slee, what'd you say?
Is this
What's the
going
number
to
he
start
said?
a shame spiral?
What'd you say, Slee?
Yeah.
Slee said 185-ish. All right, step on. You're
Mine do.
There you go. Slee.
What do you got, Al?
A very slim.
What is it?
182. So he was actually.
We were both right on
nice.
the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in shoes. I'm going to be
I have boots on.
190.
I already said that.
190, says John.
You don't
In
listen to-
shoes,
No, I said combat
190,
boots. You never
says
listen.
Ireland,
Never.
Steps on it once, gets the double zeros. Here he goes, and it is 188.6.
Okay.
You came in under.
So, what's interesting about this phenomenon is most people will lie about their weight for whatever reason. Now, women, you can understand it because it's a very sensitive subject. But why would men lie about the like?
Well,
Cap
I think
yesterday,
we lie to
said-
ourselves.
I said, Cap, you're 225, and he said, I'm absolutely not 225.
Uh-oh.
I'm blah, 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 like 210. I go, man, if I had a scale, I could. That's why I put the scale in.
But if I took my shoes off, I think
I'm
it'd
with
be
you on
closer to where I was.
215.
You
If
think
you take off shoes,
215?
shoes 4 to 5. We'll give you for the
4 to
shoes.
5?
4 to 5.
So,
4 to 5
hold
pounds.
on. If we're doing...
Take off the hoodie,
Sweater
take off
on.
the shoes.
Okay,
Let's see.
take off the hoodie.
This
Actually,
is a
this is
very
good.
This is
interesting.
exciting.
And Mace, take off your sunglasses and your headphones.
Because
Sunglasses, headphones.
You take off
and
your
your
shoes.
jeans. Take
I'm
your
gonna
jeans
say-
off.
No,
if
no.
you're saying 4 or
I'm
5 pounds for
yeah.
shoes, then
No,
I'm
for clothes.
okay, so you're saying I'm getting under 260? I'm going to
Yeah,
go crazy
I would
when
say
get
if you
home.
took everything off right out of the shower, I think. Now, when
Why
Mace,
I drop my
Mace,
shorts? Am I supposed to
take your
go off or what?
Mace,
Mace, go
sunglasses,
use the red
sunglasses,
cough.
Mace.
lose the sunglasses.
Mace, go use the restroom and
Trying
come
to help
back.
you. Okay, now tap it once. Tap it. Now wait. Here, hold on. Now wait. Okay, go. I'm going to say you're 215.
215.
214.4.
Oh, there you go.
I was close.
So your honest weight is probably 212.
Yeah, about that.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I got to go.
Yeah, Travis said
That's
a
it.
little
I mean,
That's it.
did we fat shame you? You're okay.
I said 260-something, 264 is like the...
No, I feel like I hurt
He's
your
not
feelings.
happy.
Why are you leaving?
He's not happy.
I never knew Travis Rodgers would wait.
I got a free shirt and I got fat shamed on the radio.
Nice, congrats.
So
Big
one,
day.
Trav, one makes up for the other. I didn't know how you'd respond to
day,
the scale.
yeah.
Enjoy the shirt.
So what do you think Cap will weigh in at?
I don't know if he's still here. Hey, Bergman, is Cap coming in today?
Not in studio, no.
Okay, so we can't do it. What do you weigh, by the way?
I weigh probably about 187.
All right, get
which
in
is-
here.
Okay.
All right.
Let's check.
By the way,
Bergman.
you
Now,
went
Bergman-
down, you went down
Bergman was
4 pounds
over 200.
by taking off that and the shoes.
Shirt, clothing is 4 to 5 pounds.
Yeah. So I have clothing on.
All right. Okay, you want to take off your shoes or leave them on? All right, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
Bergman. Here we go.
It's
Tap.
going to be right around 190.
And
Okay, go ahead.
Bergman, 1 foot,
I have stuff
the
in my
other
pockets,
foot,
too.
and the
Dun,
number.
da-da-da.
190.
190.8.
Wow.
Clothes,
Okay.
shoes.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're
that's
at
good.
187 is about is honest.
On the dot.
That's about right.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, people lie, particularly even guys.
Well, I was going to say,
lie, but
is
we
that-
all were pretty
By the
much
way,
in the
I'm
ballpark.
pretty honest about my. I've mentioned many times my weight battles.
So,
But do
Mace,
guys-
here's
guys-
what brought this on
guys
because I don't
do
want you to
lie?
hear this from anyone other than me.
Oh no.
Okay,
What'd
so
you say about me?
no, it wasn't me.
Okay.
And she swore me not to tell this story. And now,
Oh,
of course,
good.
I'm
Okay,
telling
good.
it.
This is the
So-
story I love.
So Lisa and Mason have a great relationship. They like each other. They get along really well.
Lisa.
So Lisa is looking at the tortilla slap video from
Yep.
last week.
Yep.
And she said, "Who is the big guy you just slapped?" And I said, "That's Mace." He goes, No, this guy." I go, "Honey, that's Mace." She goes, "Has he gained weight?" I go, "Man, that comment right there, tell me if I'm right." I said, "That comment right there will get him to go on a diet."
How do you feel, Mace?
No. Look. Here's the trick.
It will get you to put the donuts away for a little
Yeah,
while.
Lisa, I have gained weight. I am a bigger guy now. I pat my stomach. I say I earned this. No, the reality is I'd like to weigh less, and this month I wanted to get down for Rams. I do have control of my weight. I can go down if I really, really need to. But
You want to get down for Ram
I
season
wanted
because
to
you're out
get-
in public more?
yeah, out in public more and all that
And
stuff.
okay, this is a I specialize in dumb questions. Is the seats at SoFi? If you're heavy, can you feel it? Is it harder to get in the seat?
No, thankfully.
So it's not that.
No.
It's not anything.
And
to
I'm
do with
not that. And by the way, I'm not like.
What do you want to
uncomfortable
if you
in
can
the seat
lose?
heavy.
If you can lose certain, what do you want to
Yeah,
lose?
what's-
10
I'd
pounds.
like to weigh 195. I think
195.
that's my best weight is 195, and I'm at.
And you're 215?
15, yeah. Ooh, 20 pounds. Oh God.
No, you
But
can do it.
Oh,
Can you
God.
do
You
it?
can do it.
Because some people are so in control. Hey, if I want to drop 10 pounds, I could drop. Give me a couple of months, I'll drop it. Can you do
here's
that?
the problem. I was at 207 last week, and then I went on break and I picked up 5 pounds. Now I've got 3 days here. Now I'm going to go on break again for 4 days, and then I'm going to pick up 5 pounds. So the problem is I don't have any consistent time where I'm here because August is officially vacation month. You got to squeeze in as many days of vacation as you possibly can because frankly there's nothing going on.
Yeah, I don't
And
understand.
it's
how some
hard.
people
It's
do it.
hard to
You travel the way they travel.
I don't understand
I don't
how
know
you can
how
do it.
they stay in shape.
Me too.
There's a gym in every hotel.
But you're
Michael and I
active,
go to every gym at every hotel.
and timing wise doesn't matter because you guys have such crazy hours when you get in.
Well,
that's
I'm a
special.
bad guy to ask because I don't sleep. But Michael and I will see each other early in the morning in these gyms all the time. Trudell's in there all the time. He normally comes in later.
Early morning.
Michael and I early morning. Trudell later. Billy Mack afternoon. Stu occasionally if he's bored.
How early? How early, by the way?
For me,
Yeah.
6:30.
No.
Yeah.
6:30 is a rumor to me. I've heard that there is.
To
such
be
a
honest,
thing as
I send these
6:30.
guys an email every morning. I wake up about 4
Mm-hmm.
and I work on an email and I send it to them of stuff I want to talk about in the show. As soon as I get the email done, then I'll go.
Then
I'll
you go to the gym.
Yeah.
You go to the gym every morning.
And just walk on the treadmill, or if there's a pool, I'll swim in the pool.
Really? So
Yeah.
do you have a gym membership?
No, these are at hotels.
Oh, at hotel.
On the
I'm
road.
talking about
Oh,
when
you're-
they're doing their
when
travel.
You're at home.
Yeah, I'm home golfing.
Golfing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday, and we think Mace will be into it.
Okay.
So the summer camp thing.
yeah, have you heard about this, Mace?
Oh no! Explain.
Camp 710.
Camp
You
Seven-
probably
Oh, I like
know
the
more.
name of it.
You probably know more of the details at this
Well,
point.
because Clinton is the one who thought of it. Clinton Yates, who I've been working with for the last 2
it's-
days,
it's
has come up
growing
with
a lot of
Camp
momentum.
710.
Was it Clinton's idea?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so there are many people that are into it.
Okay.
And then there are Travis and I who have zero interest. We don't camp. We do no camping.
has Sedano said
He
anything about
hasn't
it?
weighed in, and I
Okay.
think he's out all week.
What about Glamp 710?
Now, see, now you're talking. See,
I just sold him.
yeah, now you're talking.
Glamp
If you can set me
710.
up with a climate-controlled bed with sheets, then I'm considering
With a
it.
window that shows the outdoor.
Oh
yeah,
that's
yeah.
with a view of the mountain.
I
all?
want
Yeah, that's
one of
perfect.
those no pest strips over my
Now,
bed.
John, you don't think you're capable of camping?
I have no desire to camp. And it lends itself to a larger issue. There have been a lot of things going on lately. Mandy's, Mason Ireland poker tournament,
Softball game.
softball game,
yeah, all that
Camp 710. We got
Golf
a dinner,
tournament
we got
coming
golf
up.
tournament.
Yep.
We got a dinner Tuesday night. How much of your time does your employer own when you're not here? I think that it's reasonable for them to ask you to do something every once in a while. But now we're talking like every month consistently. And
Once a
sometimes
quarter
more.
is good.
Fair. But, okay, in June, Mason Ireland Poker Tournament, then the Mandy's, then in July, softball game. Now we get the dinner in the first couple of days of August. Now we're talking about Camp 710. And
next spring, right? We're talking about Camp
yeah,
710
golf
next
tournament. When's the
spring.
golf tournament, Bergman?
September 9th.
September.
Okay,
September 9th,
so
yeah.
that's we're
There's a
pretty
fantasy football thing coming
Yeah.
up too. I think.
Yeah.
right. So
But
it's
this is our opportunity to meet the listeners.
okay. But how much is reasonable to? How much of your employees' time do you own when they're not at work? What's reasonable, Slee?
Well, I think certain events, not all events are created equal.
Right.
Yes.
So I think some of the
See,
events.
I felt like everybody knows the story now. My dog died the night of the man.
Yes.
Mace, who's a dog lover, said to me,
Don't even worry
called
about
me,
it.
said, "Don't worry about coming back."
Yeah.
I am absolutely convinced that Amanda and Chris, who are both single,
Not if your dog died. They would not.
who are both single, that was like their wedding. Literally, had I blown that off, it would have had long-term repercussions. So I went home. I said goodbye to I did the show.
Wow.
Went home, said goodbye to my dog. Got in the car. I was home for a total of 40 minutes. I got in my car, went back.
They would have totally understand if you didn't come back.
Your opinion.
Your dog passed away. They would have totally understood. I told you, don't even bother.
I knew
back.
you would be okay with it.
No, John, I talked to them, and they knew that you weren't going to come back. When you came back, I was like, oh, my God,
Okay.
he actually came back.
But here's what I've determined. I love Good Karma, this new company, because we're creating a lot of these events, which I think build camaraderie for the station and stuff like that. But Amanda was telling Travis yesterday, you're going to be required to go to Camp 710. Mason and Michael have this right. Mason and Michael go to what they want. And if they don't want to go, they're out.
Wait a minute. What do I not go to?
You wanted the dinner Tuesday?
I'm on vacation.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay,
the dinner is
Michael.
The dinner. I can't help it if they scheduled it during my vacation.
Well,
Michael won an
That's
award.
not my thing.
And just
Did
stayed
not
home.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, just stayed home. He had no interest going. So I think these events are great. I think that we should do them.
It's
but
just
they
how
don't own
often.
us. They
Just
don't
how
own us
often.
away from here. They just don't. And if they want to try, let's see how that goes for them. All right? So it is.
He might not come to
So
camp. He might not be going to camp.
Something next spring has you on the brink of, like, you guys are taking too much of my time. It is inconvenient.
No. What I'm saying is I'm going to have you negotiate a glamping deal, first of all. But what I would say is we should go to these things if we want to go. Travis and I have no interest in camping. We don't want to go to camp. We don't want to go camping. It's not our thing. We have no interest. Should they be able to force us to go?
I honestly,
What do you think, Mace?
yes.
Okay.
And I think contractually we're expected to give time to big events.
Right. How much?
I just pulled up the contract. It's not specified.
Right.
It's
But so what's
it's
what's
unspecified.
reasonable?
Once a month.
Okay, so if I would have blown off the Mandy's, I could have said, well, I went to the poker tournament.
Sure,
Same month.
you could have. I mean, if you wanted to be kind of a D.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You
Michael
don't
just
wanna-
says...
you don't want to be a D
Well,
around
Michael
here.
just says no to all of it. He's
Right.
not a D.
Michael's not invited to anything else.
Yeah.
Michael's never coming. Michael's not coming. He's not.
Right.
He's not part of this team in the traditional sense. He's a guy that stops in once a week and does a show with us and does the games. But he's not. We're never inviting Michael to anything.
Well, I think they'll invite him.
I don't
he
think
just
we
will never
I don't
come.
think we'll invite him. I would rather not invite him. Because he's not. He's going to say no. So what's the point of extending the invitation?
I know for a fact there is no point because he's not coming.
Right.
But-
So that's why I said don't invite Michael to anything.
But I would argue that Travis and I should only be required to go if we have an interest in going.
Well, here's the thing. If you're not into it, let everybody else have the fun.
Right.
That's what I say. In
Right.
other words, if you want to be the guy that sits everything out, then be that guy. But that doesn't keep everybody else from going and having a good time.
100%
like,
correct.
I'm guessing Clinton's in on this. I'm guessing, like, the usual suspects are all in on this.
You
Kaplan,
doing spring camp?
spring camp? Is that's when it's supposed to be?
I think
yeah,
that's when they do it. I think I'm doing it too.
I'm for anything. The thing I love about the gig is when we go out and we talk to people and we get pictures and all that. You love that, John.
Yeah.
You love that stuff.
Yeah, I just think that, as to your point earlier, Slee, with our travel schedule, it's almost impossible to communicate to you guys how little time we have during the season. It's just you guys don't get it.
No,
you never will.
His schedule
And-
is
No, I
what
totally
finally
get it.
what finally put
Ridiculous.
me over the edge was, and I actually built this into my contract, is Slee when we did the trial of the century.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a game in Denver the night before. I drove out to, where was that? Montebello,
It
where we did the
was
trial of the century.
Clearman.
Clearman's
Trial of
Galley.
Century, Clearman's Galley. I don't
I don't
remember.
remember.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you Mason is
What
right.
was that?
10,
What-
12 minutes from
What
Pasadena.
city
Yeah,
was?
so,
yeah. So
San Gabriel, I think.
got back. It was a Denver thing.
Yeah.
Got back at 4 a.m.
Game that night.
Right. Drove to Clearman's Galley.
Mm-hmm.
Did the trial of the century. Game that night at Oklahoma City, and I was convinced I was going to die. But nobody cares about that because everybody is focused on putting on good events.
And you have a full-time job here.
Right. So, so I had 2 games in 2 nights. So it depends, to answer your original question, depends when the spring event is.
Yeah.
Really. is what will determine whether or not I have an interest in going, and if Mason can get me a glamping deal.
Mace, get him a glamping deal. We'll do it from there.
We'll do that.
Mason Island coming up next.
Different times.
Can you milk a cat, Greg?
Big old sucking sound.
And yes, the prodigal son, Steve Mason, has returned from a few days off. For people that don't know, my wife, Lisa, loves Mason. They get along really well. She, the other day, was looking at the tortilla slap video.
Which is hilarious, by the way.
And she goes, who's the fat guy that you just slapped?
Oh, no.
And I went, that's Mace. And she goes, has he gained weight? I don't think any of us actually know what Mace was up to the last few days, but he has returned to the show. And the funny thing is, I don't think he knows anything about the Camp 710 bit. So Corporate Greg and
he does now.
We'll have to give him the scoop because we know how my bestie John Ireland feels about Camp 710.
Who is it that wore the cowboy hat with Ron Jeremy?
It is time for the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon right now.
That is one of the best Chris Morales opens ever. You got Al Raboski confusing Ron Jeremy and Ron Burgundy. He got the my wife calling Mason fat. It was excellent.
Yeah. You got it all, man. Boy, Lisa's calling me fat.
Yeah,
sad.
to her credit, she did not know it was you. Somebody just tweeted, did Travis really walk out of Super Crosstalk because John brought in a scale?
Oh, yes.
What do you think,
absolutely
Bergman?
did.
No,
you think that caused him to walk? Hey,
I mean,
don't
cause him
ruin
to
the
walk
bit.
out.
He stormed out of here.
That was it. That was enough out of him.
Once
He
we
said, I don't
want
want to be here anymore.
267, he was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I got a lunch appointment.
Whammy.
Yeah. So, what I miss? Anything?
Did you say Camp 710?
lunch appointment?
Yeah, I got a lunch appointment.
Is that what he said?
No. I said Travis.
Okay, I got to give Travis a little bit of credit. He told me ahead of time that he was not going to be at crosstalk at 1 o'clock.
Why are you peeing on the bit?
Because that's what I wanted to do. I had to get Travis's back. We get people's backs around here.
Oh, sure we do.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's got
from
yours?
other shows?
Spoken like the backstabber that he is. So describe the way this 710 or Camp 710 came up.
Clinton came up with the idea for camp. He thinks it should be like the next thing.
He's an enterprising young man.
Yeah, I'm hoping we do the basketball game. Clinton wants to do Camp 710, so of course now they want to do both.
Right.
But Clinton wants basically picture every summer camp movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He wants to do that with all of the 710
potato
people.
sack race. Let's do the potato sack race.
Yeah,
ropes courses.
That's his idea.
Ropes courses. Yeah, I'm all for that.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think people that enjoy camp should go. And if you're like Travis and I and you have no interest in camping, you don't have to.
Right.
I don't think we should be mandatory made to go to camp.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like it's a matter. I don't think we've got anything else scheduled next spring. If we have nothing else scheduled next spring and they work around your schedule, you'll go, right? It's going to be a live remote.
Let me put it this way. If it's a show, I will be there for the show.
Yeah, but you won't be there for any of the hijinks?
Correct. No hijinks.
Why would skip the hijinks? The hijinks are the fun part.
Well, it depends what you consider fun.
Yeah.
Now, if Travis and Beto and I are allowed to go play golf while camp is going on, then we're in.
Is that right? Beto said he'll participate if there's golf?
Beto's out.
Oh, Beto's out now? He was in before.
He was in yesterday on Twitter.
Oh. He told me yesterday if Travis and I go golf, he wants to come with us.
I think there's just a misunderstanding of what we are. I don't think that the remotes that we do anymore are like they were 5 years ago, 4 years ago at this point. Now we are doing remotes where we're a part of the community when people want to come see us and hang out with us and do a lot of other things. So the fact is that we want to be there for these things and we want people to be there with us, and it's fun.
Who is we when you say we want to be there?
The station.
Travis and I don't.
We, the station.
Travis and I don't want to go camping.
Nobody's going to force. Nobody's going to force
you to
anybody
participate in a
to
big
participate
station.
in anything that
that's
you
all
don't
I
want to be forced.
That's all I need.
I don't think, with John, I don't think he needs to be at the softball game or the. What else do we got? Does he have to be at the golf tournament?
I mean, that's golf is his thing.
Oh no, he's got to do the show.
Right. Well, he's got to do the show. Yeah, and then there's golf, and he plays golf. You and I used to play golf.
By the way, the golf tournament.
Bergman actually pulled me off the golf course at the last golf tournament. He said you have to come back.
The golf tournament, by the way,
it's time for the show.
The golf tournament is scheduled at a very inconvenient time for me, at least, because it's the night after the Rams open against Buffalo at SoFi. So it's going to be reaction.
The day after.
The day after, yeah. The day after is the.
So the golf tournament's that first week in September?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So that's.
Is
that the right date?
Yeah, September 9th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the Rams game September 8th?
September 8th, yeah.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have to go to that.
Well, just do what I'm going to do. Do the show.
But it'd be more convenient for me to do it from here. Because I'm closer.
But you're not sleeping. You're not sleeping over. You're not sleeping over here.
All the shows are all the shows are optional now. I'm going to skip the golf tournament.
Listen to you.
Well, you won't play in the golf tournament anyway.
No. But I obviously do the show from there and hang out with people.
I think most people at the station want to be a part of the station and be a part of these events. No one's going to force you. If you're going to go and be you're not going to have fun, then no.
Yeah, don't go if you're not going to have fun.
We're going to have fun without you, and that's fine.
Hey, what's the deal with Lie of the Day? You said you were going to give me some copy that I
should probably print that out.
Now I don't really know what it is, but we are doing Lie of the Day.
Okay, so basically there are 5 world-famous soccer teams that are touring.
Okay.
And this weekend at the Rose Bowl on Saturday, Real Madrid is playing Juventus.
Oh, okay.
And we have 2 tickets to give to anybody who can sniff out your lie of the day.
Okay.
I did lie of the day each of the last 2 days. My lie of the day Monday, tremendous failure. The first girl got it.
First person?
Yesterday, 10 deep, till somebody finally figured it out.
So you adjusted the other way.
Yeah. So today, come in somewhere in the middle of those 2.
Okay. So I will do Lie of the Day at some point today between now and 3:30. I will tell a lie, figure it out, win a pair of tickets, see Real Madrid versus Juventus on, is it Saturday at the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Saturday at the Rose Bowl. So make sure you do that. So
the Dodgers, by the way, are all over the net. We want to welcome all of you who were either watching or listening to the Dodger game because it's pretty much over. It's 6-0 Dodgers. They scored 6 runs in the first inning.
Good.
And Off Patrick Corbin. But
who
Mike
we might
Rizzo
have to take as a
no,
very
Mike
bad
Rizzo came
chip.
out and said that they're not attaching Corbin to the Soto trade. Rizzo went on a radio show in D.C. yesterday and said we're not going to dilute the package we could get for Soto by making somebody take somebody else. Soto will be, if we trade him, and they're not saying they're going to for sure, but he basically said if we trade him, we're going to maximize his trade value.
Right.
So they're not going to attach bad contracts to him.
So the Dodgers lost last night to the Nationals. Again, they're up 6-0 in the fourth inning today. But of their 32 losses, John, 15 now have been to below 500 teams, 4 to 500 teams, and 13 to above 500 teams. So that means
they've lost more games to bad teams than to good teams.
That is correct. And the question is, why is that? What is last night, obviously, down 4-3 going to the ninth inning. Roberts, for some reason, stuck with Garrett Clevenger and he blew the game completely. But last night, the bullpen late was a problem. Why do you think they struggle against bad teams?
The Lakers used to do this in their heyday, in the Kobe Shaq dynasty years.
Yep.
That when they played a bad team, they just couldn't focus and couldn't get up for it. They assumed that if they walked out there and put on the uniform that they would just win.
Right.
I think I'm not all that worried about the Dodgers. They've won 19 of their last 23 games.
Yes.
They won 8 of their last 10. They're going to win today. But your point is fair, that they've lost a bunch of games to the Pirates, a bunch of games to the Nationals, and a bunch of games to the Rockies.
Yep.
I just think they're not as into it as when
completely agree
the Mets or the Yankees or
some flashy team, the Cardinals or the Astros or the Padres.
If they come to town,
Giants.
it's like game on.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way, but
Bergman has a theory. I'm not sure if your theory holds water or not.
I mean, do my theories ever hold water?
No,
Depends what it is.
So I think that a lot of times against these bad teams. So against these bad teams, Jorge's very happy that you played that. But against these bad teams, I think that they use relievers that they would not normally use against the good teams because they're saving their arms for the postseason, or they're saving them for against better teams down the line when they have to play the Cardinals and when they have to play the Phillies again, or whoever it happens to be, the Mets again. They're using the relievers like Garrett Clevenger and David Price
but
and Reyes
last night,
Maranta.
it's interesting. So Evan Phillips wasn't available. If Evan Phillips pitches the 8th, we probably have Craig Kimbrell going to the 9th with a lead.
Yeah, going with a lead, correct?
Yeah, with a lead,
which you probably do, and but he wasn't available.
But Phillips wasn't available, so they had to go to Clevenger,
and they let Clevenger get 6 runs against him, and then they sent him back down to AAA.
Okay, I got a little nugget, John.
Okay,
do you agree with the theory, John?
Yeah, I actually do. I think that Roberts looks at opportunities to pitch guys like Clevenger and says, well, it's a game against the last place Nationals. We got a 1-run lead. Let's see what the kid can do.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And the reality is they're playing with house money at this point. I mean, they're 64-32. They are
pretty good.
They got a 11.5 lead, I think, on San Diego right now, and they're cruising to the division title. I guess you'd want to be number 1 seed overall, but I don't think that's such a big deal in baseball. So there was something I saw a tweet from Dodger Blue, and this is interesting. The subject is Mookie Betts. I want to ask you if this means something. Plus, a new piece from Mike Sando of The Athletic has ranked all the quarterbacks, and there are some unnamed quotes about quarterbacks that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
That is coming up for you. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
and all over East LA, even on the 6th Street Bridge. Right before it closed down, you could catch up on all the fun and frivolity from the Kaplan Taco Tour last night with Beto Duran at ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram and Twitter. Go there now, and we'll figure out when the next one is. Maybe we will get Trav out there. Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday continues now.
So let me ask you, John, or you, Bergman, what was the Scott Kaplan Taco Tour? What did that consist of?
Beto, Cap, Funchess, and Morales went to
And
East
Laura.
LA, and Laura Romo went to East LA and just taco hopped because Beto knows where all
the
of
spots
the
are?
taco spots are. I've actually done that. All the K-Cow photographers know all those kind of hidden spots. It's really fun. They look like they had a really good time.
I always drive by my house, this place where they've got what's the thing that's on the skewer and then they slice it off the skewer? Is that
that's pastor.
Gyro?
Well, I don't know.
Isn't that a
We call
gyro?
it pastor.
The
I don't
gyro
know.
sandwiches? I don't know.
On the hood, we call it pastor.
Okay, got it. So, and I drive by and everybody always says that's the best in LA, and I've never. I should really stop and try the mystery meat.
Isn't
Kudas.
trying mystery meat a risk in itself?
It is, but you know what I'm talking about. Those skewers, and then they've got all that meat packed around it. What is that called? At a Greek restaurant, you see them slice it.
Yeah, that's a
off.
gyro. That's a gyro.
That's a gyro, right?
I believe so. The
Yeah.
sandwich is the gyro.
Yeah. So.
Spelled gyro.
No, it's not called a gyro.
I know. I've said it's spelled gyro,
Oh,
so
it's
you know.
spelled gyro.
Jeez,
Thank you.
man.
Well, how do
No,
you
I
pronounce
know.
it then?
I know how to.
So edgy.
Yeah, I'm edgy. So I'm at a restaurant the last couple of days, and I had to get the waitress's attention.
Okay.
So I said, "Miss, could I please have iced tea, an iced tea, let's say, a Diet Coke?" And then I immediately thought, well, should I have called her ma'am? Is she a ma'am or is she a miss?
I always
And
ask the
what's
waiter or the
cutoff?
waitress what their name is when they first come to the table.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. If they're not wearing a name tag.
But is ma'am or miss still appropriate?
I'd feel weird.
Would you? You don't say miss?
Yeah.
Is miss just not cool anymore?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's why I'd say if they're not wearing a name tag, I'd say, "What's your name?" And she says, "Laura."
Right.
I'd say, "Okay, thanks, Laura." Hey, Laura, do you mind? Can I get some salt and pepper?
Right.
Yeah, that way
now,
you can call them
Juan
by their name.
says you don't use ma'am or miss because that's not appropriate
I think
anymore.
Juan's probably right.
But people call me sir. I get sir
Yeah,
all the
but
time.
you're-
So
yeah.
what's the difference?
You're not going to get all bent. Other people, you never know what's going to set people
Bergman,
off.
ma'am or miss?
I mean, I don't. In a joking way, I'll say yes, ma'am, something along those lines. But no, I don't call anybody ma'am. But if you're a waiter or a waitress, the first thing you do when you walk up to the table, you say, "Hi, I'm Greg." And
Yeah, but do you think everybody remembers the name of the waiter or the server when they go to a table? No.
No, they say sir is okay, ma'am, miss, ma'am. I think is okay. Yeah.
Ma'am is okay, but ma'am sounds older than miss.
I think it's just like ma'am. Excuse me.
What about MS period? Ms.
Ms.
Hello,
Ms.
Ms.
I mean, that's a weird thing to
That
say.
is a
isn't
weird
it?
thing. Anyways,
I don't know, sir.
that was a struggle I had over the break. So
that was a struggle.
That was a
That's
struggle.
a minor struggle.
No, you know, it was
Yeah.
a debate. It was a debate. So I get into conversations with Juan all the time about things that happened in the past. Okay, and I always say to him, he thinks he's winning all the arguments by saying all these things about stuff that happened. And I looked at him at one point this break, and I said, your memory favors your side of the story, which is completely true. His memory favors his side of the story.
I've never heard that articulated
I
that
know.
way, and it's 100% true.
It is. I just struck upon it. I'm like, yeah, his memory favors his side of the story.
Yeah.
That's the situation we're all in. We have faulty memories, and we tend to make errors in our favor. All right, so, John, yesterday, apparently, Mookie Betts, who had an unbelievable play last night, just gunned down a runner, gunned down, I think, Victor Robles at the plate. Apparently, turning double plays at second base before the game last night.
I saw this.
Okay, so if you think about it, I'm just going to make this suggestion. If you think about it, you could potentially move him to second. You could move Lux to DH. You could play Taylor in left, Bellinger in center, or vice versa, and Juan Soto in the outfield. An outfield of Soto, Bellinger, and Taylor with Lux at DH and Mookie Betts at second base. What do you think? Do you think that's what's going on?
I don't.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I think it's a very interesting theory, but here's why I don't think that.
Okay.
If I'm Dave Roberts or Andrew Friedman, even if I am trading for Soto,
right,
I leave Betts in the outfield. And the reason is for what you said at the start of this. He makes great plays in the outfield all the time.
Unbelievable.
So let's say you trade for Soto.
Yep.
I think you put Soto in left. Okay.
Bellinger in center.
Yeah. And leave Mookie in right. All right. And then
you play
Lux and Taylor. You could one could DH, one could play second. I like your idea of moving Lux to DH because he's a bad fielder.
He made another error last night. He's a great hitter. He's just not a good fielder at this point.
So, but Muncy's not hitting at all. He's really, really struggling.
Muncy, in fact.
So you put Taylor at second.
Yep.
You put Lux at DH. Muncy's out, and you put Soto in the outfield.
There you go.
What do you think?
So Muncy's the odd man out. Yeah. So Muncy is batting 158 now. He is 5 for. He's not in the lineup today, by the way. He is 5 for his last 49. 5 for his last 49.
Somehow they keep winning.
With 22 strikeouts. And that's since July the 5th. And by the way, they're 12-3 since July the 5th. So he's not costing them wins at this point. But something isn't right. And I heard Trav talking about this a little bit earlier, and I think there's merit to it. He's coming off surgery from last year, which was
his elbow.
Maybe that has affected his swing in some way, and he can't find a groove. Is that possible?
Sure. I have no idea what happened to Bellinger's swing, but remember, he got injured. Bergman, what was that freaky injury he did when he was...
The high five?
It was the high five with his
And then
arm.
he had surgery, and he's never been the same since. So maybe...
Well, he wasn't really all that great before.
Wait, he won MVP.
Yeah, no, the first half.
When did he win? When did he tear his whatever it is?
He won the MVP in 2019. I think he tore
2018.
He won the MVP in 18, World Series in 19, so that's when he got hurt.
2020 was when the World Series was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So it's 19, I think he got hurt.
Yeah, somewhere around there, whatever it was.
Right. So, to answer your question, sure. That could have something to do with it.
Yeah.
But
I think no matter what, he's the guy that you've got to find a way to – I mean, this is where you get the phantom injury to go to AAA and to work through some things. Like, I think that would be the right thing for Max Muncy about now. But you do it – you don't just send him down. You send him on a rehab assignment, right? To me, that makes sense. See if he can find something. See if he can find what he had. He doesn't even have plate discipline now. He's not even getting walks. His on-base average is .308, and over the last since July the 6th, his on-base average is .233. He's not getting walks either.
You know who leads the league in walks? Juan Soto.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't sense he's coming. Do you? I don't think I did this with Clinton because he's a Nats fan. I don't think the Nats are going to trade him. You know, we come on here every day and we talk about all these potential trades. Durant's getting traded. Kyrie's getting traded.
Right.
Soto's getting traded. Isn't it a possibility none of these guys are getting traded?
Sure, it is always a possibility, but it is certainly fun to speculate about it. And I think that if Juan Soto does move, the Dodgers are one of a very few select organizations where he could move to.
Yeah, I listened to Buster Olney talk about this today. He thinks Padres, Cardinals. He says the Mariners are a long shot, and he says Dodgers, Mets, because Dodgers and Mets are always in everything. And he says you can always throw the Yankees in there too. But those are the teams, like you say, very small. What's that, 5-6 teams?
5-6
Probably
teams.
it.
Because you got to think about offering a $440 million plus contract if you're going to give away the farm for a guy like Juan Soto. All right, coming up next for you, Wheel of Questions plus, John, some quarterback evaluations from quote-unquote unnamed sources. That's coming up next for you. Mason Ireland, 710 ESPN.